There are moments in grief when the questions outnumber the answers, when the silence of heaven feels louder than any sermon. And in those moments, we are left holding the broken pieces of our theology, unsure how to put them back together. Lena's son, Matthew, was only 8 when he died from leukemia. For months, she prayed fervently. Healing scriptures lined her walls. Prayer chains stretched across states. Her church rallied in faith. But after his death, all she could ask was one word: why? She didn't stop believing in God, but she no longer knew how to talk to him. "I felt like I failed," she said. Or worse, that he failed me. When we lose someone we love, our minds instinctively seek meaning. We want answers, not just comfort. We want to know why this happened, why God didn't intervene, what purpose could possibly be born from the ashes. But often, the pursuit of answers only leads us deeper into mystery. Job, a righteous man who lost everything, was never given an explanation. Instead, he encountered God's presence in a whirlwind. It wasn't clarity that healed him, it was connection. Many of us grew up in faith traditions that offered tidy formulas: pray, believe, trust, and God will answer. When those formulas collapse under the weight of suffering, it can feel like betrayal. But faith is not a transaction. It is a relationship. And relationships are full of complexity, emotion, and deep questioning. Mark, a retired deacon, wrestled with this after losing his sister to suicide. "I had preached hope for years," he told me. "But when she died, all I felt was darkness. I didn't want to go to church. I didn't want to sing. I just wanted to sit and cry." Eventually, Mark stopped trying to answer the unanswerable. He learned to sit with the questions, and in doing so, he found a deeper kind of peace, not from resolution, but from surrender. We often associate faith with praise, but Scripture also gives us the language of lament. Lament is the sacred art of grieving in God's direction. It says, "I am hurting, and I am still talking to you." Books like Lamentations and Psalms are full of cries of confusion and sorrow. "Why, Lord, do you reject me and hide your face from me?" Psalm 88:14. My God, why have you forsaken me?" Psalm 22:1. These are not faithless words. They are faithful words spoken in anguish. Lament doesn't resolve tension. It honors it. It tells the truth about suffering while still turning toward God. Many grieving people speak of a long silence after loss. Prayers feel like they bounce off the ceiling. Scriptures feel flat. Worship feels foreign. This silence can be terrifying, but it can also be fertile ground. Silence is not always absence. Sometimes it is mystery. Sometimes it is God sitting with us in the dark, not speaking, but not leaving either. In Job's story, God does not speak for 37 chapters, but Job keeps speaking. He keeps praying, and eventually, God responds. Nina lost her father to COVID-19. At first, she said, I kept asking why, over and over. But one day I realized, even if I got an answer, it wouldn't bring him back. It wouldn't heal me. So I started asking different questions. Where is God in this? Who is walking with me? What can I hold on to? She began noticing God's presence in small, quiet ways. A friend's unexpected call, a song on the radio, the warmth of sunlight during a walk. They weren't explanations, but they were enough. Here's the truth. You don't have to resolve your questions to have faith. In fact, questions can be a sign that your faith is alive, still searching, still reaching. The disciples questioned Jesus often. Thomas doubted the resurrection. Peter denied him. Yet Jesus did not condemn them. He drew closer. He offered his wounds. He met them in their confusion. Faith is not the absence of doubt. It is choosing to trust, even with doubt in your pocket. What questions has your grief brought to the surface? Have you felt pressure to find meaning or answers? What would it look like to carry your questions instead of solve them? Here are a few gentle practices to help navigate grief with questions. Write a letter to God expressing your unanswered questions. Meditate on Psalms of Lament. Let their honesty guide yours. Spend 10 minutes each day in silence, not to fix anything, but simply to listen. Talk with a trusted spiritual mentor about their own journey through unanswered prayers. Grief dismantles easy answers, but it can also open us to deeper questions, the kind that make space for mystery, humility, and authentic faith. The goal isn't always understanding. Sometimes it's simply to keep asking, to keep reaching, to keep walking, even in the dark, because God can handle your questions. And the best part, He walks with you through them all. If this video encouraged you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone. Who needs to know that God isn't finished with them yet?